Siman Gimel, Sa'if Vav, Beis Shmuel, Sif Cotton Yud Beis. The Beis Shmuel says that Chazaka is a very strong connection because we apply the death penalty even and only based on the connection of a Chazaka. And the Beis Shmuel clarifies, Hainu Chazaka shebonea kruchim achareh. The Chazaka that her children are attached to her, they follow her around. What's the case? The Mishnah says that if a person has a Chazaka, that he marries a woman, and then he goes l'medina sayam, he goes overseas, and he returns after many years, and there's children, he returns with children, and he says, this wife is that wife that I married all the way back then, and these children are her children. So that Chazaka of the fact that the children look like they're young children, and they look like that they're very close to the mother, based on the fact that they're close to the mother, we accept without any doubt that these are her children. And same afilu inyan yichus, we could determine that these children are Jewish, or that they're kohanim, not halalim. Any yichus question would be satisfied by the fact that that we see the children playing around the mother and looking to her for support and treating her like an average child would treat a mother. Afagav de kaimalon karuch achara behemeloy mahani. Even though when it comes to an animal, the fact that children of animals play around the animals doesn't establish a connection. By humans it does. What's the case over there? If we see an animal, a kosher animal, gives birth to an animal that's not behemoth tmea, an animal that's not kosher, and we saw it give birth, so it looks like an animal that's not kosher, it doesn't have the simanim, but since we saw it give birth, so we can assume that it's a kosher animal, we can shecht it and we can eat it, because it came from a kosher animal, and anything born from a kosher animal is kosher itself. However, if we didn't see the birth, if we didn't witness the actual birth, but we see that a behemoth was pregnant, and then we come back the next day and we see that she's got a little behemoth who's not a behemoth tmea, a behemoth that looks like a behemoth that's tmea, and that behemoth is nursing from it and playing with its mother and attached to it, playing with the kosher animal and attached to it, that is not sufficient. Just because her children are kruchim, are playing around with her and are connected to her and behaving towards her, does not mean that animal was actually her animal, and we actually assume that the animal was a tummy animal that just happened to latch on to this tahir mother. Kamoisha Kosabi Yeridea Siman Ein Tes is explained in Ein Tes, Ve'ein Tesos Lushin Daf Pei, Ubemagid Perek Beis, Ubetur, the Semchin Al Cheskes Kruchim Achareh Afilu Le'inyan Yichus. However, we see in all these other places that when it comes to Yichus, so when it comes to Behemoth Yeridea, we see that the behemoth Kruchim Achareh is not sufficient to establish the Chazaka that this behemoth is the child of the mother. But when it comes to human children, them playing around is considered sufficient strength and Chazaka to establish Yichus, and even as we said before, even to establish the connection vis-a-vis Mrs. Based in.